Hey, Parshat B'Shalach. We're finally leaving Mitzrayim. We're coming out of Egypt. The Geula, the redemption is beginning, Baruch Hashem. And the Jewish people are leaving after 210 years of slavery. This motley crew of families, of husbands, wives, men, women, and children are all like coming with all their possessions out of Mitzrayim, walking out after the 10 plagues, after it really seems like, wow, we are finally out of here. And actually, there's a really nice corresponding event that happened this week, thank God, in Israel. A miracle happened that we got our last hostage's bones, his body, out of Gaza. And Ran Gavili, thank God, it was really a miracle because he was just like thrown in a graveyard full of other bodies, and they had to go through 250 bodies of just random Arabs, and he was found. He was found, and he was a whole complete body, even though he was killed on October 7th, and he was even in uniform, and they were able to say that his dental records were corresponding to Ran Gavili's, and they found him. We were able to authenticate that. And they brought him back for closure for his family, for the ability to grieve, for the ability to have a proper funeral. And it corresponds in the Parsha to the bringing back, finally after 210 years, of Yosef's bones. Yosef's bones had died. Well, Yosef had died obviously 210 years before the Egyptian slavery started, and he had made his family promise to pass down to their kids and to their kids that eventually, when you get out of here, find my bones, unearth me from my grave, and bring me back to Israel. Put me in a coffin and bring my aron, my coffin, back to Israel with you on all your travels through the desert until you get back to Israel, and lay me to rest in Israel. And the Jewish people were definitely making good on that promise, and now they were finally leaving, so they were taking Yosef's bones with them. And so it was an amazing association with what happened this week, with the miracle of bringing our last hostage, Ran Gavili, back home, laying him to rest in Israel, being able to make him a funeral, being able to sit Shiva, being able to, have a proper burial in the land of Israel. So that was amazing. Now, what happens with all these Jewish people, they're all leaving Mitzrayim. They're coming to they're just like walking through, and all of a sudden they realize, oh my God, the entire Egyptian army is chasing after us. They're coming after us. And we are just like walking through the desert. We are completely unarmed. We have children. we have women and children, and everybody's just like not able to fight an army, of course. And we're also walking towards the sea. We're about to go into the sea. Like literally, we have nothing to do. There's nowhere around. Like basically, we're just obviously, literally in between a rock and a hard place. We are stuck. And so what does a Jewish person do when they're stuck? And obviously, this is what you do. You dive into Hashem. You pray, you scream, you cry. And it says, Vayir'u, what does it say? Vayira'u, they are freaking out. Vayitz'aku b'nei Yisrael el Hashem. We cried out to Hashem. The Jewish people cried out to Hashem. And Moshe initially calms them down, and he says, listen, just hang on to the emunah that you've always had. Hityatzvu, stand. Ure'u et yeshuat Hashem. Just stand. Do not worry. Hashem is going to save you. And, obviously Moshe was thinking that the Jewish people had this emunah. They were able to leave Mitzrayim with a certain degree of emunah. That is why we left Mitzrayim. B'zchut emunah, nigalu avotenu miMitzrayim. We believe that Hashem loves us, that Hashem is taking care of us, and that's how we merited to go out of Egypt, which is, by the way, a very high level of emunah. It's not just believing that Hashem is overall around you or that he created you, but that he also has a direct, deep relationship with you, that he loves you and he's going to take care of you, so you're not worried, and you kind of have this belief in yourself as well that you are a child of Hashem and everything is going to be okay. So that's a nice high level of emunah, and that's what Moshe was expecting to be enough to take us through the next stage of this traveling of the Jewish people in the desert. And he turns to Hashem and he says, hello, could you please help out here? And what does Hashem say to him? A crazy verse, a crazy statement. Ma titzak elai. Why are you crying out to me? Daber el bnei Yisrael v'yisau. Just talk to the Jewish people and let them start walking through. Walking through? Going where? How can they go through? Where are they supposed to walk? Are they supposed to walk through the water? We are human beings. We are not supernatural. We cannot walk on water. So what are you thinking is Moshe, saying pretty much to Hashem. And what are the Jewish people thinking when this statement comes up? Like, what do you mean? Why are we crying out to you? Who else are we going to cry out to? What else are we supposed to do? We are stuck. We are stuck. We're completely stuck, and we have nobody else to trust, nobody else to rely on except for Hashem. So of course we're going to cry out to Hashem. So Netivot Shalom brings the Or HaChaim, and the Or HaChaim has an amazing commentary about this, and I use it in every single talk that I give about bitachon. What is real bitachon? The trust in Hashem. There's two levels, and one is the level that they were at already. They did believe that Hashem loved them, and they did know that, they really don't have to worry so much, because they know that Hashem will save them. But here's the next level. The next level is something that they had not reached yet, and this is what Hashem was expecting them to do. Or HaChaim says like this, that really the Jewish people at this point were at such a low level in terms of their spiritual, achievements, because they were slaves and they had been for 200 years pretty much assimilated into the Egyptian society. They hadn't really done much work on their own in terms of meriting the redemption, the complete redemption from Egypt, and meriting a new miracle, which was like crossing the Red Sea on its own. Like having the water split is a huge miracle. And the Jewish people really did not merit that miracle. But here's the power of bitachon. Says the Or HaChaim, Hashem said to Moshe, you tell the Jewish people that really you guys are not quite meriting a miracle at this point. But if you show me that you expect me to do a miracle for you, and you start walking through the Red Sea, you start walking through the water, expecting me to save you, that will increase your merit to the point where I will be able to do a miracle for you at this point, even though you're at a very low spiritual level. And that is enough. The power of trust. If you come to me and you say, Hashem, I am relying on you to save me at this point. I have nothing else to do. And I'm even going to show you that I trust you so much that I'm walking through the water with my children and my bags and my spouse and my siblings. We're all walking in the water because we expect you to save us, because you are our Father, and there's no way that you are going to let us down. There's no way that a father would let his children drown. So we are not only willing to think that and calm down and sort of stay back and not worry, but we're also going to walk into the water, basically risking our lives for that. Now, this is a very amazing concept, and we need to make use of it. And I know that some people might say, but are you not supposed to, you're not supposed to rely on a miracle. You're not supposed to rely on a miracle. And that is true. But if here there is no choice, there's nothing else for you to do. You're always supposed to do as much as you possibly can naturally. And at the same time, know that Hashem is going to save you. But in this case, since there was no option, there was nothing they could do. They couldn't turn around and fight the Egyptians. They just couldn't. And they also couldn't walk into the water, right? So there was no choice. There was nothing they could do physically, naturally, to be saved. So they had only this choice, to trust that Hashem would save them. And Hashem says, if you trust me, I will respond in kind. There is this concept, Hashem tzilcha. Hashem is your shadow. Whatever you show that shadow, you show the shadow. You put your 5 fingers against the wall, you see a reflection of 5 fingers. There's nothing else you could see. So Hashem is our shadow. Hashem reflects back to us what we expect of him and what we focus on. So if we're focusing on the fact that it's going to be okay and Hashem is going to save us, he responds in kind. And that is the power of bitachon. So it's something to keep in mind, every single person, every one of us these days. If we have done as much as we can, and we're not relying on a miracle, but we are fully trusting and expecting that Hashem will give us either what it is that we really desperately want, or that Hashem will save us, or that Hashem will bring a good outcome out of a particular challenging situation. If we can not only work on our mindset and kind of feel this serenity and this calm feeling, that alone is really, really hard. But if you can work on that mindset and really, really trusting Hashem, and not only that, but actually putting one foot forward into the Red Sea, which really means in a little bit of risk taking. Like, you need to take risk based on the fact that you know that Hashem loves you and Hashem is going to save you, and you're totally sure of it, then Hashem will respond in kind. And he gives a nice little metaphor, and I'll finish with this, is that let's say he gives it like just a metaphor of a person who was caught in the courtyard of the king's palace. And normally a person cannot just sleep in the courtyard of the king's palace. Like, if you're a homeless guy, you can't decide, oh, I'm going to just sleep in the courtyard of the palace. Like, that's crazy. So the guards caught him. And we're about to beat him up, and he says, no, I'm the cousin of the king. I'm a relative of the king. So they brought him over to the king, and the king looks at him and he's like, are you my cousin? Are you my relative? I don't know you. And he said, no, I'm not really your relative, but I trusted you that you would allow me, that you're a kind king and you would save me. So I said that I'm your relative because I just was expecting that you would help me out if I was able to get an address with you, like if I was able to actually see you. So the king said to the guards, Ho'il ubi batach hanichu lo. Because he trusted me and because he expected that I would be kind, I'm actually going to live up to that expectation, and I will let him go. Let him go. So that is what Hashem says. When you have bitachon in Hashem, when you trust Hashem that it's going to be okay, and you show Hashem that you're even willing to take a risk, and you're so sure of the good outcome that you're willing to bank your life on it, that is a really tremendous merit. It's a tremendous amount of good that adds on to your scale. If Hashem is looking, does he deserve this miracle or does he not? Or does she, deserve a positive outcome or not? Sometimes, it's not sure. Like, maybe Hashem doesn't really think that you are living up to the expectations that he has of you. So if you show him that no matter what, even if you're on the lowest level, Hashem loves you and you really feel that he's going to bring you this positive outcome, Hashem will actually increase your merit, increase your, so to speak, ability to experience miracles, and he will respond in kind and give you that positive outcome. So let's try and work on that. Have a good Shabbos, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.